Hi Stampers, this is Amy Frillici from the Gathering Inkspiration Stamp Studio, and today I want to show you how to make this beautiful, glimmery, shiny, gorgeous thank you card. So first of all, I want to show you kind of some of the parts and pieces that we use to make the card, and obviously the star of the show, I think, on this card is this beautiful glimmer paper. That is Sweet Sugarplum Glimmer Paper. That can be found in the Sale-a-Bration. This is kind of the add-on. 3 more items were put into the Sale-a-Bration offering back on February 21, and you can get them through March 31. When you spend $50 during Sale-a-Bration, you can pick one of the 3 items that are in here in this brochure, one of them being the gorgeous glimmer paper. Can you guys see that? Let me get that into the camera right about there, right? So this is 6x6 Glimmer paper, and you get 12 sheets. There are 4 sheets of Bermuda Bay, 4 sheets of mint macaron, and then 4 sheets of Sweet Sugarplum. And that is one of the offerings. So you can get that pack of 12 pieces of 6x6 Glimmer paper free with a $50 order. The other one in this brochure is this reverse word stamp set. One says hooray and one says cheers. And then actually the other item that we're using, because we're not using that other stamp set on this card today, but we are using the Make a Medallion. This is a photopolymer stamp set, and the idea being that this stamp you can fit perfectly just inside of that stamp there. So that's very cool with the layering, and the photopolymer helps make that happen. Can you kind of see how they've done that inside of that card right there in the example? But we are just using this stamp here today because it makes it really easy, because this is kind of tricky to line up. You're going to have to practice a little bit on that one. It is gorgeous when you get it just right. It's one of those, whoa, I did it, I made it. But anyway, we're just using that because I love that medallion stamp, and then the thanks stamp there also on our card right here. So there's the glimmer paper, and there's that stamp with the thanks inside there. The other awesome thing I want to show you, so this is an item from the Occasions catalog, and it is on page 47 of the Occasions catalog, and this is a total mouthful. The Hexagon's Dynamic Textured Impressions Embossing folder. That's what we're using right there, and I'll actually show you, because I think you can see a little bit better. Do you see on here? It's like the raised texture, and it's kind of different levels of it being raised, so it really, it's hard to explain almost, and I think you'll be able to see it a little bit better when I run it through the Big Shot, and I can kind of show you that piece. But let's go ahead and get started, okay? So let's see, I'm going to move my card back here so I can kind of see what I'm doing. And then let's get our stamping going. So first of all, I'm going to take, this is just kind of a strip of Whisper White cardstock, and I am using, this is the Sweet Sugarplum Ink. Open that guy up. So always our nice easy tap, 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 and press straight down. Ooh, that's not going to work. Okay, normally and lift straight up, but when it falls out of your hand, you redo it. Good thing I brought a strip of paper. Okay, so press straight down, hold on to your paper and the stamp, and pull straight back up. Okay, phew, I did it. And you can see, I'll show you my matching envelope. I always have to have a little preview of what's inside. So that's the envelope, just kind of stamp in the corner of that. Okay, now we're gonna use our Smoky Slate Ink to stamp our thanks. I'm gonna move that guy out of the way. There we go. Always nice, easy. You don't want to rock with that one, especially because you've got so much of the clear block left. So just straight down and straight up, nice, easy, tap, tap, tap. And that's, I'm not going to like that. I could tell as soon as I put it down, I had it too low on the paper. So again, whoo, see, everybody makes mistakes, but you always have extra. I don't like that one either. Okay, so now I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to get really serious. There, okay, now we're good. Now we're good. Okay. So let's do our Big Shot work now. So we're going to cut some circles out of these pieces, move that guy out of the way, and actually the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to do our embossing with our Whisper White piece in that Hexagon embossing folder. Okay, so I'm going to grab the Big Shot. Oops, kind of moving things around. So this one, we are just using our Big Shot platform that came with your Big Shot, and our embossing folder, that Hexagon Dynamics Textured Impression Embossing Folder. I don't think I'm going to be able to say that again. Can you see how I always line this up? I don't like to put it down all the way inside of there because it doesn't get embossed when you do that. So I just kind of center it in the middle of our embossing folder. Now this is what I was starting to say. Normally we use 2 of these clear pieces because this is so thick. I don't know if you can see that. It's super, super thick. We only need 1 of them and we just put it right on top of it. So I'm going to lay that down. I'm going to put my 1 clear piece on top. I'm going to move the other one out of the way. And then I'm just going to crank this handle. And let's check this out. Because this is, oh, I love the moment when you open up your embossing folder, right? And you see, look at that. So can you see a little bit more kind of the texture on there? It is awesome. Okay, let's do our other, we're gonna die cut our circles. So this one I need my magnetic platform. So I'm gonna lay that down there. I'm gonna do 1 of my clear pieces and let's grab our white paper. And then this is one of the scallop circles from the layering circle framelits. And I'm gonna get that lined up. I've had a tendency to not get it quite lined up. So I think that looks pretty good. And then that magnetic platform helps hold it in place. Put that other clear piece over top and then crank our handle. Okay, go 1 more crank. There we go. Okay, and let's check this out. See how this pops right out of there? Love, 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 love that. Okay, 1 more. Now we just need a circle. Again, from the layering circle framelits. Just lay that. This is like a straight edge as opposed to the scallop edge. And seriously, guys, if you don't have these framelits yet, excuse me, you need them. I use them all the time. I probably say that all the time because I really do use them all the time. Okay, let's get that guy. And then there's our other circle, okay? Right, we're scooting the big shot out of the way, and now we can put our card together. Okay, so let me get all my pieces here. So we're gonna start, I'm just gonna use my snail right now on the back. Get that running. Gonna layer that white scallop edge piece right on top of that smoky slate. And do you see how it just kind of peeks out behind there? I love how that looks. Okay, let's kind of trim this guy off. And you know the nice part, I didn't say this earlier, but how I had the kind of mix-ups on the other side there. If you hold this up to the light, I can see the stamping behind it, but once you put it down on your card, you can't see it. So if you're in a pinch, you can always just flip your paper over if you don't have any more, because you can't see through it. That's the wonderful part about our Stampin' Up! Cardstock. It's so thick that you really can't see through it. Okay, these are my rhinestones, and I'm gonna attempt, these little baby ones I think are a little bit harder to work with. Oops, I did lose it. It's almost easier if I get it flipped over, and that's not gonna cooperate with me, is it? Huh. There, now I got it flipped over, because then I got the glue dot, and I just put my snips to the glue dot, and then I can put it down where I want, put my finger over it, and then pull away. So I think that's about the easiest way. Ah, there, that one worked a little bit better. Lay that down on there, put my finger over it, and pull that away. Okay, for this, I'm just gonna cut a couple. You can see I've already done that, and I made another card earlier. So I just use the little edges there, because I don't want my dimensionals to kind of peek over the edge of that piece, right? So I just use those little corners in this case. And then, do you see how it's going to fit perfectly right inside that scroll? I love that scroll there too. Okay, all right, that looks good. Now let's actually put our card together. And I always like to show you guys. So here, my full card, or piece of cardstock, right, measured 8.5 by 11, and then I cut the 11-inch side in half at 5.5, and then I scored it at the halfway point of 8.5, which is 4.25. So that's how you make a card, right? The card base. And then let's see, our smoky slate piece. This one measures, get that laid out there, 4 inches by 5.25 inches. And then this whisper white piece Can you see it's just graduated in a little bit around the edges, so just a little bit of that smoky slate shows up. This one's 1/8 of an inch shorter than our smoky slate piece. So this one measures 3 7/8 by 5 1/8 inches. Okay. Oh, and then the last piece, this is our awesome Sweet Sugarplum Glimmer paper, and this one also measures 5 1/8, so it fits just across that white piece by 1 1/2 inches. Okay. So let's go ahead and put our card together. With the texture on this paper, I like to use my fast fuse. Always make sure you do that flick of the wrist, right? And I am gonna put it, because of all that texture, I like to get kind of all those edges so that it stays down on my card. Oops, that one doesn't go on there. It goes on the smoky slate piece. Probably somebody watching was saying, no, don't do that. Thank goodness I caught myself too. Okay, we'll get that one. Oops, I want to bring that down a little bit. So even with the fast fuse, it's sticking a little bit, but if you just don't press too hard and you should be okay. All right, let's try that again. So quiet. It's almost like I need some music, don't I? Well, one step at a time, right? Oops, am I gonna get that? Oops. Oh, this is good. This is good that you guys see this. So this is a great thing to know when you're using fast fuse. If you run that and the adhesive doesn't start working, don't just keep pushing or like pulling on it, because you rip this, you break it and it won't work anymore. Did you see what I did? And I'll do it a little bit, but if it doesn't feel sticky right there, just use your finger and kind of advance it till it feels sticky again, and then you're okay. All right, put some there and some there. Use that flick of the wrist. Very important, otherwise you don't break that adhesive and it kind of, it just doesn't stop. Okay, layer that one inside there. I'm gonna use more fast fuse because this glimmer paper, you see how, if you can see how thick it is, I used to always think that it was like sticky, maybe there was like something I could pull back and it would be sticky behind it. It's not the case, it's just really, really thick paper, okay? So I'm gonna put my fast fuse on here. Oh, do you see how I didn't flick enough and that kind of kept going? But that was all right because I still needed to put a little bit more on there. And a little tickle in my throat. Okay, I'm gonna put that guy down there. And I already made that whole little circle piece. So now I'm gonna put some dimensionals on here. Make that pop up. I always love those dimensionals, right? To kind of add a little bit of dimension or height to our card. Right, gonna peel those. Did I get it? I did. Okay, and then that layers right on top of there. And then I've already scored my card like I mentioned earlier, so I can just fold that, make that nice crisp fold. And isn't that beautiful? And can you see the texture on there? And then the sparkle, glimmer. I love this color especially. I love all of that glimmer paper, but I'm really loving this Sweet Sugarplum Glimmer paper right now on this card anyway. So let's see, if you loved this card, if you want to make this card, I'm going to put a list of everything that we used on the card on my YouTube channel. So just look at the details below the video and you'll be able to, I'll have item numbers on there too. So if you go to my blog at gatheringinkspiration.com, I have a host code now. So if you're on my blog, if you look over on the right kind of sidebar, there's a host code there. Grab that host code, then go to my website, which is amysuzanne.stampinup.net. When you use that host code to shop and put in a $50 order, which why wouldn't you right now during Sale-a-Bration even stock up on basics like cardstock and adhesive? Envelopes would be another great thing to stock up on because you get free stuff. Then you could get either the glimmer paper for free or that Make a Medallion Stamp Set for free. Plus, when you use my host code, I send you another free surprise treat as well. So make sure you do that. Anyway, I hope you were Inkspired today and I hope you have a great day. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.